Hello, this is Nightline and I'm Nakia Basharudin. Your headlines. Pollution source traced to illegal dumping into Indah Water Consortium sewage treatment plant. An Indian Prime Minister defends citizenship law as death toll grows in nationwide protests. Welcome. The source of the odor pollution at Indah Water Consortium IWK sewage treatment plant in Bandaputra Makota sewage water treatment plant in Cheras has been traced to illegal dumping of waste into a manhole. This is according to the National Water Service Commission, SPAN, who stated that the sewage manhole hidden by undergrowth was used to illegally dump scheduled waste by unknown parties. The chemicals had found its way into the Semenyih River, polluting it. State Environment, Green Technology, Science, Technology and Innovation and Consumer Affairs Committee Chairman He Loy Sian, in a visit to the site, said IWK will now seal off all 20 manholes in the area to prevent people from opening it. He also directed the Kajang Municipal Council and IWK to provide a 24-hour control at the entrance of the area. In a statement, the National Water Service Commission, SPAN, has also warned that stern action will be taken against those responsible for the illegal dumping. It is day 2 of taps running dry in 366 areas in the Klang Valley after 2 water treatment plants had to be shut down when pollution was detected in the Semenyih River yesterday. Meanwhile, Selangor said both the Sungai Semenyih and Bukit Tampoy water treatment plants, which draw its water source from the Semenyih River, are still shut as the threshold odor number, ton, is still at 1. Both plants can only resume operations once the ton reaches 0. More than 1.5 million users have been affected in the districts of Petaling, Kuala Langat, Sepang, Hulu Langat and parts of Putrajaya. Selangor has since set up 11 local service centres and public taps for those affected. Selangor said at this point of time it is unable to tell when water supplies will resume, as it may take some time, and thus seeks the cooperation of consumers in this situation. Affected consumers have been advised to refer to Selangor's Twitter and Facebook accounts for the latest updates. The Employee Provident Fund, EPF, has apologized over an incident where a cancer-stricken, bedridden woman was made to show up at its Johor Bahru office in order to withdraw her contributions to the retirement fund. EPF said in a statement on Saturday that they have been in contact with the family and take seriously any complaints from their members. In the statement, it said, apart from assisting its members, the EPF said it would also use this experience to improve existing processes in providing a better and compassionate service for all members. The statement came after a complaint by the sister of the woman, Nur Sheila Abdullah, who had shared a post on Facebook on Saturday of how she was forced to bring her bedridden sister on an ambulance stretcher to make the withdrawal. The statement came after a complaint by one Nur Sheila on Facebook went viral. In the posting, Nur Sheila said her brother and her had earlier gone to the EPF office to make a withdrawal on behalf of her cancer-stricken sister, but was turned down as the EPF officer at the counter had insisted on her sister to be present for her thumbprint and confirmation of identity. Nur Sheila then brought her sister, age 56, back to the EPF office in an ambulance on December 17th. She claimed that her sister, who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, had to be wheeled into the office for the confirmation. Her posting has since gone viral and has been shared more than 8,100 times. Pulau Pinang Deputy Chief Minister P. Ramasamy said that the Chinese education group Dongzong has the legitimate and democratic right to organize the Chinese Organizations Congress on December 28th. He said that the Congress is meant to discuss and forward some proposals to the government on the teaching of Jawi script in vernacular schools starting next year. In a statement, Ramasamy said within the ambit of law, organizations have the right to hold meetings to express their legitimate interests on certain matters. He said the scheduled Congress seeks to present views to the government as to how best to go about implementing the cabinet decision. Ramasamy, who is also a DAP Central Executive Committee member, noted that the intention of Dongzong to hold the Congress must be respected in the spirit of democracy. He added that in the absence of endorsement of Dongzong, Chinese-based political parties might not have the legitimacy of the support of the Chinese community. The Congress, according to him, is not just to discuss the matter of the introduction of Jiaoyi script, but also to chart a course for the future of the vernacular schools in the country. Ramasamy said that organizers of the Congress should be given the moral support to hold the Congress without placing conditions, with the aim of improving the vernacular school system. The Malaysian Trades Union Congress, MTUC, thanked the Human Resources Ministry for its offer to help resolve its suspension by the Registrar of Societies, ROS. Its president, Dato' Abdul Halim Manso, however, said the union never received a call from Human Resources Minister M. Kulasagaran, and the offer to help MTUC was only made through a press statement. In a media statement, Dato' Abdul Halim said the ministry's offer to assist went as far as resolving matters with the Home Ministry. He said even though the initiative by the Human Resources Ministry was not directed at MTUC's President and Secretary General, we would like to thank the ministry. The ROS had earlier this week suspended the MTUC following a probe after it received complaints on the management of the union. It has since given MTUC 30 days to explain why it should not be deregistered. The suspension comes amid a war of words between MTUC and the Human Resources Ministry over the Labour Laws Reform Bill, which the union said was being bulldozed without consultation with stakeholders. A total of 2,300 enforcement officers will monitor the prices of goods nationwide to ensure traders to comply with the festive season maximum price control scheme in conjunction with the Christmas celebration. KPD NHEP Deputy Secretary General Dr. Aluddin Sidad said those found guilty of increasing the prices of 19 controlled items for no valid reason and fails to display the price tag on items would face stern action under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011.
Dalam hal ini, pegawai-pegawai penguatkuasa Kementerian Perdagangan Dalam Negeri dan Hal Ehwal Pengguna sentiasa berada di lokasi-lokasi yang menjadi tumpuan orang ramai, termasuklah pasar raya, pasar tani, pasar awam dan sebagainya, bagi melaksanakan pemeriksaan dan pemantauan.
Dr. Aluddin said this to reporters after the launch of Price Control Scheme for Christmas 2019 at a mall in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday. Dr. Aluddin said among the controlled price items listed under the Price Control Scheme for the upcoming Christmas celebrations were live chickens, standard chicken, super chicken, imported turkey, local boned mutton and imported boned mutton. Consumers, he added, can channel their complaints to the ministry by sending an email or via call center to numbers shown on your screen. Seven booths have been set up to allow the public to learn more about the East Coast Rail Link ECRL project and provide feedback on its realignment. The feedback will be reviewed by Malaysia Rail Link, MRL Sdn Bhd, and the Transport Ministry. The booths are manned by MRL staff and will be open daily, except for weekends and public holidays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the next 3 months. 2 are located in Kelantan and 5 in Terengganu. The Prime Minister's office has said that the cost of phases 1 and 2 of the project have been reduced from 65.5 billion ringgit to 44 billion ringgit. We're going for a short break. When we return, Kedah police on hunt for child molester. Do stay with us. Welcome back. The authorities in several states are prepared to face the high tide phenomenon, which is expected to inundate the East Coast and Johor on December 25th. Tumpat Police Chief Superintendent Abdul Rashid Mat Daud said, based on the report from the Malaysian Meteorological Department, the areas concerned were expected to receive heavy rainfalls.
Sekiranya jangkaan itu benar ataupun ramalan itu benar, memang ada sedikit efek lah, sebab pergerakan air daripada bahagian atas ni dia tak bergerak lancar turun ke Sungai Golok dan seterusnya ke Kuala Takbai. Jadi kemungkinan itu ada.
Abdul Rashid said authorities are watching closely the water levels at the Golok River and Kelantan River. He was met while visiting the Kuala Jambu Tumpat police station that has been flooded for the last 2 weeks. In the meantime, he also reminded the public to prioritize safety during the flood disaster. Meanwhile, the floods affecting Kelantan and Sabah have further improved as the number of evacuees at relief centres PPS continues to drop. However, in Johor, the 0.3 metre deep of air temenung or stagnant water situation had caused 432 individuals from 100 families in Segamat still unable to return home. In Kelantan, the second wave of floods affecting the state was almost fully recovered, along with improved weather since Saturday. According to the Social Welfare Department's disaster info application, only 187 evacuees from 72 families remained at 3 PPS in Pasir Mas as at 10 p.m. on Sunday, from 1,243 this morning. In Sabah, the number of flood victims from several villages in Beaufort and Membakot dropped to 141 individuals from 51 families against 450 evacuees from 160 families in the morning. In Johor, 9 individuals, including 2 foreigners, were charged at the Johor Bahru Sessions Court on Sunday on charges of being members of organized crime group Jackie's Gang between November 2017 and November this year. The accused were 34-year-old Fong Yang Ching, Tai Bun Soon, age 47, Chong Ying Xiong, 24, Yok Moi, 51, Go Bun Kyong, 42, Chang Sun Fa, 31, Wong Tek Kwang, 37, and Thai national Arnon Bunrod, 26, and Bangladeshi Mat Jaidul Islam, 31. They were taken to court under tight security, escorted by more than 10 armed police personnel. No plea was recorded from all the accused after the charge was read before Judge Kamaruddin Kamsun. All of them were charged under the Penal Code, which carries a maximum jail term of 5 to 20 years upon conviction. The court set January 23rd for a mention of the case. In Kedah, police are looking for a man who was captured on CCTV outraging the modesty of a 9-year-old girl in Sungai Petani. According to police, the December 13th incident took place at a surau. Initial investigations revealed that the incident occurred at about 6:30 p.m. The suspect was seen entering the surau compound before he called the victim, who was playing at a nearby playground. The victim then approached the suspect, and the suspect abused the child. The victim, who was in a state of shock, fled the scene and complained to her father. Kuala Muda Deputy District Police Chief Superintendent Shamsuddin Mamat confirmed the incident, noting that on December 19th, the victim's father had lodged a police report over the matter. The case is being investigated under the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017. A senior citizen died after she fell from her 13th floor apartment in Precinct 11, Putrajaya early Sunday morning. 68-year-old Halima Mat Saleh's body was discovered at about 5:45 a.m. by apartment security guards during their rounds. Investigators did not find any criminal element leading to her death, and the victim's body has been sent to Putrajaya Hospital for a post-mortem. Over in Sarawak, a road at the Matang Wildlife Centre in Miri was blocked after bad weather caused a landslide. State Fire and Rescue Department in its updates on Sunday said both lanes of the road were blocked. It added that the hill slope on the side collapsed and resulted in soil movement that brought down big volumes of soil that covered the road. At the moment, there is still movement of soil, indicating that the slope is still unstable, and works engineers are currently inspecting the area. Eastern Sabah Security Command, ESCOM, has confirmed that 2 Indonesians kidnapped by Abu Sayyaf Group 3 months ago have been rescued by the Philippines security forces Sunday morning. The status of the 3rd victim, who was also abducted in September, meanwhile, was still unknown. On September 23rd, 3 men were reported to have been abducted in the Lahat Dadu waters near the Malaysia-Philippine maritime border at 11:50 a.m. Coming up, scores dead in bus truck crash. We'll be right back. Now on to the foreign front. India Prime Minister Narendra Modi has staunchly defended India's contentious new religion-based citizenship law in an address to a mass rally in the capital, New Delhi. While elsewhere in the country, the death toll from violent protests against the legislation crept higher. Modi asked voters to thank the parliament for pushing through the law last week and accused opposition parties of making up lies about the amendments, urging protesters to avoid damaging homes and property. At least 17 people have been killed in the state of Uttar Pradesh, 4 in Assam and 2 in Karnataka, as police crack down on demonstrators. More than 1,200, including political leaders, have been detained after authorities tried to quash the protests that have spread to almost all major Indian cities. The new law bars undocumented Muslims from neighboring nations, including Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh, from seeking citizenship in India, while allowing those from other religions to do so. The action is seen as a precursor to a nationwide citizens register that aims to weed out illegal migrants, and which critics say is expected to be used against Muslim citizens by the government. President Donald Trump on Saturday said the United States and China would very shortly sign their so-called Phase 1 trade pact. Under the deal, the United States would agree to reduce some tariffs in exchange for a big jump in Chinese purchases of American farm products.
We also took the toughest ever action against China, and as a result, we just achieved a breakthrough on the trade deal, and we'll be signing it very shortly. They're already buying billions and billions of dollars of products, agricultural products. I spoke to President Xi yesterday, and you know, he's also coming down and clamping down, Laura, on fentanyl. I said, you got to do that. Fentanyl coming out of China. They're clamping down, and they're clamping down strongly.
Trump made the announcement during a rousing speech at a conservative student summit in West Palm, Florida, organized by Turning Point USA. The Phase 1 deal was announced earlier this month as part of a bid to end the months-long tit-for-tat trade war between the world's 2 largest economies, which has roiled markets and hit global growth. Still in the U.S., an early morning fire that left 6 people dead and 13 others injured is being considered as the worst fire fatality in Las Vegas Fire Department history. The 3-story building on Ogden Street and Stewart Avenue in the downtown area went up in smoke at about 4:15 a.m. local time. The fire seems to spark inside an apartment on the 1st floor and was put out quickly. When firefighters arrived at the Alpine Motel Apartments, however, they discovered several people hanging from the 2nd floor windows, with some having already jumped, including a pregnant woman. The woman is now reported to be in critical condition. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's homicide investigators were on the scene, but fire officials ruled the fire accidental and not criminal. At least 21 people were killed Saturday when a bus and a truck crashed in Guatemala. 9 children were among the dead, and at least 11 other people were injured in the incident. Authorities said the crash occurred near the town of Gualan in the department of Zacapa, about 168 kilometers from the nation's capital, Guatemala City. The truck appeared to have collided with the bus from behind. Initial reports indicate that the trailer truck was speeding when it collided with the bus on a curve. The drivers of both vehicles have been detained for questioning. Those injured, meanwhile, were taken to several hospitals in the region. TSC wins 2019 Tour de Selangor. Don't go away. We're back with sports. Local team Team Sapura Cycling TSC emerges as overall champions in the Tour de Selangor Cycling Championship, which ends on Sunday in a time of 46 hours, 47 minutes and 46 seconds. The second place went to Vietnam-based team Bike Life Dong Nai with a recording of 46 hours, 56 minutes, 18 seconds, while the third overall slot went to another local team, Terengganu Inc. TSG Cycling Team. The prizes were given away by Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Amaruddin Syari. TSC cyclist Marcus Cooley emerged as the winner of the yellow jersey when he was crowned the best racer in an overall time of 15 hours, 24 minutes and 13 seconds, and emerged as Sprint King and Hill King at the championship, which was into its second edition. Another TSC racer, Muhammad Nur Aiman Muhammad Zarif, won the white jersey after being picked as best young racer. The final stage on the competition from Klang to Shah Alam on Sunday was won by siblings from Terengganu Inc. TSG Cycling Team, Muhammad Harif Saleh and Muhammad Zamri Saleh, while the third place belonged to PGN Road Cycling Team racer Shahrifat Nanda Mulya. That sports item wraps up Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as hundreds of green sea baby turtles make their way out into the Arabian Sea, released by Pakistani wildlife officials in a conservation effort spanning decades. With that, I'm Nakia Bashiruddin. Thank you for watching and have a good week ahead.